So, as we all know, immigration is the act of coming from one country to live in another. And of course, the immigrants are the people in search of a new country and a new place to live. Many of them came from Germany, Russia, Italy, China, Scotland, Ireland, and other countries. Let's take a breath. Okay, we're going to talk about how them coming here led to different immigration patterns and possibly to the ethnic neighborhoods that we know today. They're coming here for various different reasons. We talked about why they came here in the first place. Good farmland, crops are dying, religious freedom, political freedom, a lot more jobs, and a lot of a promise of a better life, a better existence for your family. They came here with the promise of the streets are paved with gold, but we realized that very quickly that the promise of the golden streets and the easy life that the cities of the United States would have given them really was not the reality. They left their homeland for almost the same treatment that they got when they got here. Right? We left our comfort level, we left our comfort, and now we're looking for a place to fit in. So we get here, and what do we find? We find a lot of people who don't like us here because, well, they have a fear of losing their jobs, a fear of losing their livelihoods, a fear of losing their homes, a fear of losing the ability to take care of their families. Same issues that you had in your home country. Okay, so now what do we do in order to make this transition to a new country easier? What do we do to help ease us into the system? We ease into the system by settling into neighborhoods that have the same groups of people as the areas that we came from. That is a double-edged sword, my friends, that you move into a place that has the same people with the same customs, the same language, the same holidays, the same food, the same clothing, the same music, the same everything. Stop and take a breath. Let's think about that for a second. You leave your country. You're coming to a new country. And you settle into almost the exact same place as when you left. There is a question, why do we do it? You even know that at some point or other that the people that live in these areas may not be that helpful to you in the first place. Why? Because of the same reasons the people that you left were not helpful to you. The same reason that people that live in these neighborhoods are not going to be helpful to you. The same thing. You keep leaving one place for another, thinking the grass is greener on the other side, but it's not always the case. They're afraid of losing their jobs. Wouldn't you be? Think about now. It's the same thing as now. So you think of all these things that people say as they're trying to get elected president right now. We're going to build a wall. We're going to kick this group out. We're going to take care of this group. We're going to make... It's the same thing and the same exact reason. Playing on the fear. Same thing here. When you came here in the 1800s, you had that fear of losing your job. The fear that somebody's going to come in and my salary's going to go down because the new people are going to be just so happy to have a job that they're going to take whatever they can as payment for it. And I'm going to lose my ability to take care of my family. We have Little Italy's popping up. We have Chinatowns popping up. We have the Lower East Side, the Jewish neighborhood popping up. We have Chinese immigrants popping up into lower areas of Manhattan. Mulberry Street is Little Italy. Instead of being on these roads that are made of dirt and gravel, now we're on these cobblestone streets. You have the smell of the Italian food, the markets, the hustle and bustle. If you look at the picture that's on there, there's so much activity, so much life going on here. You just have to find your place to fit in. Don't we think it would be easier to fit in if we learn the language? This is the double-edged sword that we have when we come here, is that we have, we want to get this life that's better for our family. We want to do all these things that are better. But in order to do that, we have to learn how the system works. And if we need to learn how the system works, shouldn't we learn how to speak the language too? But to make their transition easier, they huddled together with people of the same background because it was easier for them, and they would just hope that the people that were from the same areas would treat them right and help them out the way they're supposed to, or the way they thought they should have. But we don't know. You never know. One never knows what's going to happen. You know, the idea of the markets and the restaurants and the smells in the air reminding you of your home city or your home country. It's a big thing. Makes you feel comfortable, and hopefully it'll help you in the long run. Because, you know, the possibility of leaving your homeland, leaving your family for a long, long, long boat ride that's not very nice, and then only to be processed through an island to come into a country like a bunch of herds of cattle, so that's probably not a pleasant thought. And the fact that if you can come here, you may be sent back. Or if you come here and you want to go back, you can't go back because you won't have the money to go back. So we have to figure this out. How do neighborhoods reflect the settlement patterns of immigrants? If you look at it, this is a picture of what appears to be Little Italy. They all huddled together for the same things. Chinatown, same thing. Hell's Kitchen's all Irish. All the people huddled together for all of the similarities. And yes, they do get mistreated by their own, and they get a little bit more mistreated by the people that are here. Now, if we think about the effects that they've had since they've arrived, immigrants have made this country into what it is. You look around, the buildings that are here, the highways that are here, the bridges that are here, everything that is here has an immigrant stamp on it. Many, many things have the stamp of an immigrant worker on it. The Brooklyn Bridge, Verrazano Bridge, you name it, they're there. They all had to come here, go through the same system, and cope with the changes that they had to make once they arrived here in America. They had to learn the language eventually. They had to learn how to deal with the system, or else they would have never survived. So yes, the settlement patterns are reflected in the neighborhoods. Everybody gathered together to help one another.